EXO Auto Works. EXO Auto Works is Colorado Springs' home of the $40 synthetic blend oil change. Call now, 719-375-3232, or visit exoautoworks.com to make your appointment. Enharmonic Studios. Enharmonic Studios is a hybrid digital analog facility designed to be quality and affordable to anyone who wants to make history. Call today, 719-963-2020, or go to facebook.com/Enharmonic Studios. Madrid Maintenance. Madrid Maintenance offers excellent handyman services in the Colorado Springs area, starting at just $35 an hour. You can reach them by phone at 719-963-2020 or online at facebook.com/Madrid Maintenance. Trevor's Beard is brought to you by The Beard Struggle. The Beard Struggle is my go-to for beard hygiene and styling products. So you should click the link below and use the code TLANE15, that's TLANE15, for 15% off your order. The Tool Bar, our new line of handmade soap produced in partnership with Crafts by Carolyn Lane, available on Etsy. This soap packs a punch of manly scent like oak and fig, fresh cut lumber, cedar, and more masculine fragrances being developed all the time. With a soft touch of natural oils to cleanse and moisturize, use the link below to buy the Tool Bar now. Once you try it, you'll never want to wash with anything else.
From EXO Auto Works. Streaming all over the world. It's your weekly dose of toxic masculinity. With Eric Madrid and Trevor Lane. It's Man Tools.
Chugga chugga, motherfucker. Trying to find us live. It's kind of working. Sort of working.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening. Is that Facebook?
That's the face pages. Well, Facebook did go down like a cheap whore. Man Tools Live. Hey, there we are. Maybe. Whatever. If you're on, check us out. Welcome to another weekly dose of your toxic masculinity.
Yep.
With the Woo Girls.
It's not showing up.
That's okay.
We're going out everywhere else. So here, I'm going to post to the chat a link to...
There we go. There, we're up.
Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lag.
Right.
Laggy. The word of the day is lag.
It was giving me like some weird warnings about not being able to connect to shit earlier when I was messing with stuff. So it's hard telling.
We're connected to shit now.
All right.
Totally connected to shit now.
Hey.
So how's it been being a grass widower for the last week?
I have grass.
See what I did there?
See that?
Just in time for the winter freeze.
Yeah. I got little tiny little sprouts coming out.
Well, how long did that take?
It's been a week since I planted.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Those fescues germinate in like 7 to 10 days.
Yep.
Cool. Just in time to freeze.
Yep.
We're going to have to, yeah, it's going to get cold. Going to be freezing up here in the shop instead of
burning up.
Instead of roasting, baking in the oven.
Well, I do have a space heater that I can bring up. So that's a much easier problem to solve.
Don't worry, I've been ordering so much DoorDash, my thighs chafe, keep me warm.
All right.
Friction.
Get one of those old people sit down on the couch and pedal exercise things, and you just keep yourself warm.
Keep yourself warm. Yeah. Oh hell, that'll do it. Yeah. I sent off our. This is pretty funny. I sent off our. Ran into an old friend of mine. He's also in the same kind of industry I'm in, and chitty chatting at the Agent Orange, and I was like, "Yeah, man, we should trade podcast guests." He's like, "Yeah, what's yours about?" I sent him the link. Haven't heard from him in like 3 days. So
like,
he's probably
you guys are into that toxic masculinity.
You guys are into that say what you think, not what people tell you to, huh? Just funny because I remember him being an anarchist back like 10, 15 years ago.
Yep.
It happens. Get that paycheck.
What's hilarious, though, is he probably still thinks of himself as an anarchist, even though he's like, just take the shot. Just take it. Just take the jab.
You saw that guy?
Yeah.
You're just afraid. You're just scared. You snowflake. I'm like, you're the snowflake because anybody gets in your face, you're going to fold like a pair of deuces.
Yeah. The government and big corporations are all evil. Now listen to what the government says and take this thing that was produced by a big corporation. It's an emergency.
It's for your safety. You wouldn't believe how many times I've said that this last week, just being a dick, and people are like, "Oh, well, I better do it." I'm like, "Oh my god!" So there's this. What people don't understand. The shit I had to learn back in the day. This is called cognitive ease. You say something enough times, enough ways, it feels okay. You don't have to think about it so much, so it becomes true in your brain.
Yeah, and you overcome the cognitive dissonance,
which makes
of
you
believing two things that are mutually exclusive.
Yes. It makes you just be like, okay, that must be true. So, that's all I'm seeing on TV and news and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Just constant bombardment. It's nothing new. This government's done it plenty of times.
Sure.
We've and I say we because I lump myself in because I, fortunate enough to be geographically birthed in a country where I can start out in a trailer park and end up on a podcast. It's the only country where you can start high and end up low.
But yeah. Hey, look, I believed wholeheartedly that after 9/11, the right thing to do was to go to war with Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm. So did I.
Even though they were all Saudis. All the hijackers?
Wait. Say it enough times. Say it enough times.
Saudi Arabia is our friend. Afghanistan is our enemy.
We've always
been at war with Eurasia.
Never been at war with East Asia.
Yeah.
Dude, you melted Zach's brain with that.
1984. He should read the book.
I told him. I'll get it. I told him I'd buy it for him an audiobook.
And you definitely should read Animal Farm as opposed to watching
it on our Patreon.
The Jim Henson
on our
locals.
On our locals.
We make it funny. So if you're going to watch a film version of Animal Farm,
definitely.
Our friend Taj LeBlanc kind of texted me a couple of times, was asking what was going on, and I said, oh yeah, we got this thing going on, locals, and he had never heard of it. And then a little while later he texted me, he's like, they made a movie out of Animal Farm? I'm like, yes they did. Actually they made two. One was completely animated in the 50s and it was really good. I was like, and then they got Jim Henson and some CGI,
and then there was this bag of crap.
And
they spent all the money on Patrick Stewart and Kelsey Grammer's salaries.
So they spent it somewhere.
Jeez. Let's see. What else is on the bag, a list of bullshit this week? The whole wage thing. Notice we're not talking about the wage gap anymore. Found that interesting. There's a new wage gap, and I'm gonna say it a bunch here, so it's cognitive ease. There's a new wage gap here. So all you motherfuckers got your minimum wage jobs jacked up to $15 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
But all those people that were in that weird supervisor role, not even middle management,
who were making like $17
an hour, 18, they didn't get raised.
Nope.
That's 17 to 22 an hour. Those guys are still, and gals are still in the same spot.
Yeah.
So congratulations. You jacked up minimum wage to a point where now you should be going back to work, right? Like you won. Minimum wage is now up where it needs to be.
Right.
Cool. That's cool. So prices of gas and prices of other things didn't go up. Right? That didn't happen. Cost of living didn't go up because minimum wage went up.
That doesn't happen every time they raise minimum wage.
No, it doesn't. Never. It's never happened in the history of minimum wages.
Because, entire supply chain is made up of minimum wage workers. So why would prices skyrocket
when she
because
said
minimum wage went
let
out?
them eat cake, the price of butter and the price of milk didn't go up.
Yep.
But I'm seeing a backlash now for the specialists. We'll call them specialists, not middle management, because I'm middle management and it's not in the $17 to $22 an hour.
Right.
But mine didn't go up either.
Sure. Yeah.
Mine's probably far enough that it won't ever.
Right.
Because
yours will go up when you move up.
When you level up.
Yeah.
When you level up. But here's to all the specialist positions, that are now basically making a couple bucks more than minimum wage clowns. And I'm saying clowns, I'm not bagging on you guys that actually jump into minimum wage, do it, but let's be real. Minimum wage is minimum wage for a reason. You should be doing minimum work.
Yeah.
And you're doing menial work. You're making sandwiches. You're doing, soft retail without, you're doing the back end, seasonal stuff. I get it. I've been there. When minimum wage was $4.80 an hour. So, done it. I get it.
Yep.
And I got out because I didn't want to do it anymore. You level up. That's kind of how it was designed. So I'm gonna put this out there. Sometime mid-January, we're going to see an outflux of specialists that are going to drop down to minimum wage jobs because now they don't have the responsibility.
Right. They're making nearly the same amount of money.
Making nearly the same amount of money.
Like screw it, I'll take a $2 drop to not.
So I don't have to schedule these other 15 assholes.
Yep. I can totally see that.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's really coming, and I'm just in the retail world. I think it's gonna really hit hard.
Yeah.
Especially big box stores. Like all my buddies, old ladies, and a bunch of my friends in the bands and stuff. They're like, I don't even want to work here anymore. I got a buddy who's like the head dude over at a moving company, and he's just freaking out because dudes aren't showing up, and now they got to pay him more, and now they don't even show up, and then they got to fire them, and then they get in trouble for firing them, and
fucking clown world.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna go back to being a mover, like, and then I don't have to schedule. I'll just show up and work instead of all this stress.
And be
for $2 less
and
an
be
hour.
the fucking rock star because you show up.
Yeah. And go get tips on his jobs. Like, I'm like, go for it, man. Go for it. Anyway, so that's my prediction for January 2022.
Probably right.
Mm-hmm. See it coming.
Yeah.
It's gonna get weird.
Yeah.
It's gonna get weird. Well, if you're watching and or listening, you can chime in on the chat thread, on the face pages, or on the Discord, and or you can give us a call. Man Tools phone number will be up there just shortly, and we're gonna jump over to the news. See what's happening in the news around the world, since we already started this off in a pretty bleak 1984 dystopian future of 2022.
Well, guess what? It gets worse.
So we'll get to the news and spread some more joy.
All right. Well, first up, speaking of rising prices, Dollar Tree is going to exceed the $1 price tag, at least for some items.
No longer the Dollar Tree.
It is. Well, they haven't talked about changing the name. I don't know. It could be one of those things like, how long were 5 and dime stores around past when they were charging nickels and dimes.
7-Eleven isn't open from
7 to 11
anymore.
Yeah.
And let's see what else.
KFC doesn't stand for Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore.
What does it stand for?
I think they just changed it to the acronym. It's just KFC Corp.
That was where they fucked up in what's that? Stranger Things. They're sitting around. Oh, I love KFC. I'm like, wait, they didn't call it KFC
that back
in the
then,
80s.
yeah.
What
No,
the
they
hell?
didn't.
Yep.
So,
Dave Potter's joined in. It's the Doom. Yeah, bro. You should definitely chime in on all this.
So the mantra to which the Chesapeake, Virginia-based, I guess I should open the phone thing.
Sure. Well, Dollar General hasn't had dollar ship for years. You know, I mean, it was like.
But I think their name is a little more flexible.
Okay.
Were they ever just a dollar store?
At some point.
Okay.
I would imagine.
But yeah, Dollar Tree's whole thing has been
everything's a buck.
Everything is a dollar. The only thing you got to worry about is tax.
Uh-huh.
You know, if you grab 10 things, it's going to cost $10 plus tax.
Yeah. And
then you'll be out the door.
Right. Well, since rent, has hiked up 40% everywhere.
So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, everything's getting more expensive. You got, depending on who you listen to, potentially huge supply shortages either coming or already here.
Well, just sitting out in the docks.
Yeah.
Sitting out in the ocean.
Yeah.
Waiting to get unloaded.
I think we talked a while back about it already happened in Australia. The truckers shut shit down because they're like, the COVID nonsense, we're not putting up with it. I've heard Teamsters here say, yeah, if you're going to mandate vaccines for interstate travel,
good luck.
I hope you liked having stuff because you won't.
Uh-huh. Good luck. Good luck.
So we'll see. I think this is kind of one of those, it's just another domino that's kind of falling in a economy of dominoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did you hear about the crazy debt ceiling thing?
They want to just pay off their Visa with their MasterCard?
Sort of. So they've been talking about raise the debt ceiling. And I don't know who came up with it, but Biden was talking about it, I guess. We can mint $1 trillion coin. And they're literally, it's not a joke, $1 trillion worth of platinum, which I don't know how much that is, but it would make a coin.
Mm-hmm.
They'd mint it in San Francisco. This is, so here, all you action movie writers, I'm sure, are going nuts with this. They mint it in San Francisco and then have to fly it to DC. And they would, to prevent defaulting on the debt without a raising of the ceiling, this is their plan B.
So we have, instead of a fiat debt, we have,
for that one thing,
for that one thing, we now have.
It's not like we go back to a non-fiat currency. It's just to pay off
the one thing.
It doesn't even pay off our debt. It pays the
interest.
Basically the minimum monthly payment that we're paying on our credit cards.
Let's see. Dave said, just got my mandate today. 2 months to decide. Should I stay or should I go?
Yeah.
Copyright
question.
Strike. Dude, well, if you go, I got a middle management position for you to start tomorrow. Guaranteed you come fix houses with me, bro. 3 months and you'll be a project manager and you'll be making, if I recall, you'll probably make about a third less than what you're making now. But it's still not bad.
Well, speaking of should I stay or should I go?
Oh, definitely should go.
David Lee Roth has announced his retirement.
Oh my god, I thought that was Machine Gun Kelly.
No. Yeah, the Van Halen frontman announced he will play 5 final shows in Las Vegas and then call it a day.
Are those real tattoos, Dave? When did you get?
Don't know.
I mean, that's cool and all, but I don't know, man. God damn it. That just tripped me out.
Buttons aren't toys.
Buttons aren't toys.
Or whatever that was.
Yeah. It's on the floor now. Well, Dave, you look like Eminem's cousin and meets, I don't know, roadie for Whitesnake.
He may have done that. Dave's done a lot of stuff.
Wait, what?
Dave's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, all the cocaine.
Well, yes. But when that when he left Van Halen, he became a paramedic in New York.
Mm-hmm.
He went over to Japan to study whatever that weird sword art is. Shindo, I don't know what it is, but Shindo, maybe.
Yeah.
So he's a multifaceted fellow.
Oh yeah, he's no dummy. He's where Perry Farrell got all his ideas from about feigning ignorance and feigning being drunk and pretending to be stupid, and then the whole time screwing everybody and making shit tons of money on the back end.
Yep.
Yeah, 3%, Perry, 3%.
Well,
here's the weird thing: who's gonna play guitar for all this Van Halen stuff? And apparently, like you said, there's gonna be some cameos or possible cameos of the old Van Halen crew.
Yeah, the word is, I guess Alex doesn't do social media, but somehow the word got out that he would be willing to be. I don't know if anything's solid, but he's like, I'd be down for being a part of Dave's last show.
Here's the thing: you guys had bad blood when you were younger. You got to the older point, like I could see you having pissing contests when you're in your early 30s. Now that we're pushing 50, I'm like, yeah, there's no real need for it. And now that these guys are, 1/4 gone, yeah, like the hatchets get buried along with, their fallen comrade.
Right.
So I would assume, I'm pretty sure Alex, any of those dudes would just be like, yeah, that's cool, man. Let's get back to, you're retiring. It's not a money grab.
Not sure Mikey would.
After all the stuff?
Yeah, basically, I mean, yeah.
With the Wolfie thing and the, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you said something, what's the opposite of prophetic?
Dumb?
No, you didn't prophesize it. You were regurgitating it.
Oh.
Because it already happened. Sammy would have been totally cool with doing a Sammy Dave
thing. Oh, yeah, because John 5 wants to do a tribute to Eddie that involves everybody that's ever been in Van Halen. And I was saying, I think I would put it this way. And he wants to include everybody. So, I mean, Sammy, Michael Anthony, Wolfie, Alex, and Dave. I think if it was announced Dave was involved, Sammy would still be down. But if it was the other way, if they were like, oh, Sammy's on board, Dave would be like, cool, I'm out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Even if it was like well, you won't be on stage at the same time. He'd be like, hey, fuck that guy.
Yeah. That's weird, though. I don't know, man. You're David Lee Roth. What are you retiring from exactly?
Ski bopping and booping.
I mean, you're not going to go on stage anymore?
Not record anything? I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see if that actually happens. Or it's just Dave doing a money grab for his Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas stint.
Well, obviously, by saying this, those 5 shows he can charge a lot more with the ticket price.
Oh, yeah, those are $5,000
because it's
now.
You're never gonna see him perform again.
Maybe Mandalay Bay tied him up in a contract. They said, all right, we're gonna give you the X amount of million, and then
well, fuck, Kiss is on their like 6th farewell tour. I mean,
yeah.
Paul Stanley keeps saying for real this time it's the end, but then they add more dates to the same tour, and now he's like 2022 sometime. Okay.
I'm waiting for Kiss Alive 11. How many times can you rock and roll and party every day?
Kiss Alive, they're not.
All right, Dave, you've had enough time on Man Tools.
Yep. I got a kick out of this. So, I'm sure everybody knows that recently there was a women's march about the whole Roe versus Wade anniversary, I think is what it's about. And the organizers had this message: stop using coat hanger imagery because it reinforces the right-wing talking point that home abortions are dangerous. Now, if you know a little history of this, one of the arguments for legalizing abortion everywhere was that doing it at home was very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
So, I mean, wherever you stand on going to a doctor to get an abortion, I think everyone agrees that doing it at home is dangerous.
It is dangerous.
That's not a right wing or a left wing thing. That's
a David Lee Roth picking you up in the ambulance in New York on a Thursday night. Kind of dangerous.
And also, I wouldn't think that pro-abortion, that side, would use coat hanger imagery, number one.
Yeah.
Because their whole thing is, I think that would be a right-wing thing to use as imagery in the protests. You know, this is what they're doing. They're just tearing babies out with coat hangers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure.
They're not, but all right.
It's not how it works. But, well, I think anybody who's really trying to belabor their point is going to grasp at straws and use whatever. In this day and age, it's a by any means necessary scenario.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. The coat hanger, oh my God. Do you remember driving down Colorado Avenue in the 2000s? Every Saturday there was just this parade of people with like chopped up, out of Facebook fact check, chopped up babies in a garbage can.
Right.
That's what they're doing in the back room here and all this stuff. Like, yeah. Like, yeah, right. Whatever. So by any means necessary. I find that, I'm just gonna say it, I find that radical religious groups tend to do that consistently. And remember, I just said radical religious groups tend to use this imagery consistently.
Well, and that's, I mean, woke leftism is becoming religion. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Remember, folks, kids, the views expressed on Man Tools shouldn't be heard by anyone ever. There's our disclaimer.
That's probably best.
It is probably best. Should probably stop scrolling and go to bed right now.
Let's see. Up next, I'm sure everyone's heard about the shooting that happened in Arlington, Texas. I wanted to get into this, though, because, of course, everybody jumps on the gun control thing. And I have another aspect that I'd like to draw people's attention to. So, the suspect's name is Timothy George Simpkins. For those that don't know, he's already out on bail. $75,000, which means, what is it? Usually, typically it's 10%, so he had to post about $8,000.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they find the, most innocent-looking pictures of these folks
from 5 years ago.
He's 18. I wanted to get to, where's the part? I thought it was right up front. I wanted to get into his family a little bit. There we go. I don't know if the highlight shows up.
That's right, I'll read it.
Oh, it does on the screen. So the 18-year-old was reportedly held on $75,000 bail. Meanwhile, a SWAT team executed a search warrant at the home where Simpkins lives with his grandmother. Why am I pointing this out? In almost all of these cases, there's not a father around. And in this particular case, it's even worse. His mom's not even around. And look, grandmothers, depending on how old they are, oftentimes either believe that everything their grandkids are doing is good and right and just, or they have I already raised kids, I don't give a shit. I think those are kind of the two schools of grandkids raising, or grandparents raising their
those are
kids,
the far ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I mean, on the Hallmark movies, you can get, the electric grandma, and she cared and was fair and disciplined and organized. But let's be real. Let's be real.
But the big thing I wanted to point out was, like almost all of these school shooters, Dad's obviously not in the picture. Mm-hmm. That seems to be a lot more of what is causing this than access to guns or whatever else. The other thing that's been pointed out is I guess he was using a handgun, and at 18 it's illegal to own a handgun.
In Texas?
Isn't that a federal thing now?
I'm sure.
So I think everywhere.
I don't think you can smoke. Yeah, you can't smoke cigarettes till you're 21.
I'm pretty sure that's a federal.
You have to jerk off with a helmet and a mouth guard.
So, I mean, the gun control people are already like, see, this is why we need laws. And it's like, there are already laws that should have prevented this, and they fail.
Yeah, he's not supposed to have one.
No.
Anyway, it's against the law for an 18-year-old. Unless you're in the Army, then you can have automatic weapons.
Sure.
Unless you're in, what the fuck was that? Unless you're in LA, then you can't, timeout. It was the the LAPD, their new field weapon of choice is illegal to own
in LA.
Everybody else, because the sheriff and the people in California says too dangerous for mere mortals, stupid fucks that aren't police. Because the weapon is super nice and functional and reliable, and is now prohibitively expensive and illegal.
Well, and,
for your safety.
And what I was getting at with this is, it's not about the guns.
The hypocrisy is what's driving me nuts.
And the other thing that's crazy is his family has come out and said, well, he's bullied, and it's like, that doesn't
justify murder.
That doesn't justify. I don't know if anybody died, so I'm not sure that his murder. His intent probably was to murder. I'm sure it's going to be an attempted murder.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think it was 3 students and 1 teacher. So yeah, 4 people were injured very seriously, because anytime you get shot, that's a serious injury. There's no such thing as being shot.
Your body was invaded by a projectile. That's bad.
So,
in Chicago, combat is okay if all parties are in agreement.
I saw that. Mutual combat.
Mutual combat. Go Chicago.
And I don't think they're alone there. I think there's many places where now it's not typically applied to a gunfight, but if 2 people beat the shit out of each other, just like they call it a wash.
Yeah.
It's like, what
we need to look that up in El Paso County.
We're going to arrest both of these people. They're both victims and suspects at the same time.
That sounds like they want to find us both for both things on both charges. Yeah, that sounds like El Paso County.
So, I don't know. What is this? Oh, I know what this story is. We haven't beat this horse in a while, but
oh no, we have more horses.
Check this out.
To drag up a hill.
2 top transgender doctors are sounding the alarm and putting the well-being of children ahead of the left's radical agenda. In a bombshell interview, the medical experts say we've gone too far when it comes to the use of puberty blockers and gender procedures in young kids. But the establishment and the media won't listen to them. Why? Because anyone who questions...
Sorry, folks.
2 top transgender doctors are sounding the alarm and putting the well-being of children ahead of the left's radical agenda. In a bombshell interview, the medical experts say we've gone too far when it comes to the use of puberty blockers and gender procedures in young kids. But the establishment and the media won't listen to them. Why? Because anyone who questions whether or not a 9-year-old is too young to undergo reassignment surgery or dares object to a biological male competing in women's sports becomes a public enemy of the woke mob. No one knows that better than athletes Alana Smith and Selena Soule. They're fighting back against the unfair competition. They join me now, along with their attorney, Christiana Holcomb. Thanks so much for coming on. Alana, tell me a little bit about what your story and experience has been.
My freshman year of high school, I competed against the 2 biological males, and it was just really demoralizing to know that all of my hard work and all the other female athletes' hard work wasn't paying off, and we were really just racing for 2nd and 3rd place, and we weren't going to get the spots that we truly deserved to get.
Yep. Selena, tell me about your experience.
You know,
I was forced to compete against biological males throughout all 4 years of high school, and I lost out on countless opportunities, primarily the opportunity to qualify for the regional New England championships in the 55-meter dash, and if they weren't there, I would have qualified. And I've had to compete against these athletes over a dozen times, and every single time I lost without fail.
Christiana, it seems to me like this is a situation where we are forced to get involved in litigation and in fights that you never really want to as a distraction during your high school years and the like. What are the legal aspects of these fights as you see them playing out across the country?
Well, girls like Selena and Alana deserve to compete on a level playing field and have the same quality of opportunities that their brothers have. But Ben, as you and I both know, this issue is so much bigger than just sports. Radical activists, including those in the Biden administration, are threatening those who stand up for basic facts about biology and the fact that humans are either male or female. And, you know, we see this ideology play out with real human cost. You know, women are being forced and trapped in prison cells with violent male criminals. We see parents who are either pushed out of the conversation entirely or are intimidated into putting their children on hormones or undergoing life-altering surgeries. Even women are broadly being dehumanized by being referred to as chest feeders or birthing people, and the list just goes on and on. So that's why Alliance Defending Freedom and
all right, yeah. That the lawyer's obvious spiel was a little slanted.
So,
but let's just be real. We've beat this horse to death.
Yep.
We're going to keep kicking it, dragging it up the hill. We're going to keep doing it. And, you know, fuck the woke mob, because you are, and that's the other thing. We are by no means belittling someone's choice as an adult to transition from one sex to another.
Sure.
In any way, shape, or form. Stop sexualizing children. Number one, 9-year-old kids with puberty blockers. But we've known, you know, what is this? Chest feeders. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the new word for a breastfeeding mother.
Breastfeeding mother.
Well, because if they're
women,
if they're a man, they don't have breasts anymore. They just have a chest.
They have a chest, so they're chest feeders. Yeah, whatever.
And they're the dad.
They're the dad.
They're a chest-feeding dad.
You can't feed the kid with your non-functioning, non-lactating nipples.
Well, no. This is the opposite way. They're really mom. They gave birth to the kid. That's a birthing person. That's another one of these nonsense fucking terms. That was me. And
it's so convoluted and weird right now.
You know, give me a fucking break.
Look, man, we knew my cousin was completely gay by the time he was like 7 years old.
Sure.
You know what we did? Nothing. We didn't encourage it, didn't discourage it. We're just like, cool, you're the cuz, whatever. Do your thing. Bothers me.
Yeah. It's pretty ridiculous.
And on that note, I'm going back to the 90s. Dude, Cone, I lived for a little while, lived in New York in the 90s, and I thought it was awesome. My tour guide to New York basically was like Seinfeld, Will and Grace, and Mad About You. I thought that's what New York was going to be like when I moved there. It was kind of like Will and Grace, the weird episodes. The Halloween episode.
Well, the one thing though I'll miss is it's like, okay, hey, I'm a short order cook, and my husband is I don't fucking know. Name another menial job, and they have like a super nice apartment.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, wait, what?
I know. It's like, oh, I'm a school teacher. Oh, and I'm a journalist, and they have this like massive apartment. Will and Grace was at least mildly correct. He had a swanky apartment on, the Upper East Side as a lawyer.
Sure.
That was mildly believable, because my apartment in Harlem was a fucking 800 square foot hovel that was $1,800 a month.
Yeah.
Good God.
This is my favorite story of the night.
All right, so for those of you who are now triggered, this is going to be amazing. Be prepared to be untriggered and be beamed up, Scotty.
William Shatner, of course, famed for playing
TJ Hooker,
Captain Kirk on Star Trek, is going to go into space for real in Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rocket ship, which was it like 2 weeks ago, did its first manned flight. And I was lucky enough to get Mr. Shatner on the phone to talk about this. So we're going to play that now.
I'm going to call Bill.
It was pretty amazing.
Actually, Mr. Shatner, this is Trevor Lane from Man Tools. First, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. I wanted to ask you a little bit about your upcoming space flight with the Blue Origin rocket. How are you preparing for that?
Packed my bags. Last night, pre-flight. 0 hour. 9 a.m.
Now, Mr. Shatner, my understanding is that the flight doesn't happen until October 12th. So you've already packed your bags?
And I'm going to be high.
Oh, he brought his own sound effects. I forgot to mention that.
As a kite by then.
Well, it sounds like you might be high as a kite right now. I guess just could you give us some parting words and final thoughts on this journey that you're about to take?
Oh, miss the earth so much. I miss my wife.
Well, you haven't
I don't know why he's
left
playing
yet,
background music.
And I mean, I'm not gonna say that you killed your wife, but she did pass away under some odd circumstances. You were starting the process of a divorce, and then she drowned in your pool.
It's going to be a long, long time. The touchdown brings me back again to find I'm not the man they think I am. Back.
I'm not so sure about that, Mr. Shatner. I mean, from what I understand of the rocket, it basically is a straight up. You barely leave the atmosphere, and then it's a straight back down, so you're not really going to be gone that long.
Oh, no. I'm a rocket man.
Okay, Mr. Shatner, thank you for taking the time to talk to us, and good luck on your space flight.
Get a life.
No. It was kind of rude to me at the end there.
Trevor, you never cease to amaze me. How you work your magic with agents, to get famous people on this show. It's just ridiculous.
It's tireless.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you.
Effort.
I'm so proud of you. So proud of you.
That's got to be our biggest get ever. I mean, we should get him to actually appear on on an episode.
Yeah, I mean, we have presidents on here, and
we have, yeah.
Dignitaries. We should get Captain Kirk.
You know what else is amazing?
Good segue.
Thank you.
By the way, folks, Trevor blindsides me with this stuff.
Yeah, I don't tell him I'm doing any of this shit.
I hear it for the first time too, and it's awesome.
As always, Man Tools is brought to you by our friends at EXO AutoWorks, Colorado Springs' home of the $40 synthetic blend oil change. EXO knows that finding the problem is the first step to getting your car right, which is why EXO AutoWorks provides diagnostics, and they also do fleet services, fluid services, repair services, and so much more. They work on all makes and models, including high-mileage cars, and they offer a 24,000-mile, 2-year nationwide warranty. So call EXO at 719-375-3232 or go online to exoautoworks.com to book your appointment right away. And of course, they are our sponsor of the Tool of the Week.
Yep. Oh, I did want to mention one more thing before we jump over to the Tool of the Week.
Mm-hmm.
It is the Best of Springs voting season.
Oh, yeah.
So when you guys jump on there, all of you that have had the wonderful experience over here at EXO, I already dropped in my vote I'm going to vote twice because I bring multiple vehicles here. So
right,
one comes from the home vehicle, one comes from the work vehicle, because they take care of both. So if you guys feeling frisky and you want to get over there on them interwebs, please go check out exo.com and then vote for them on our local Best of Springs voting.
Yes,
thingy.
Absolutely.
And while you're there, best podcast of the Springs, just write it in.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think it's even a category, so just write in best podcast.
Best podcast, Charlie Milo Show. That's who I voted for.
Wow. Glad to see you didn't waste your vote.
It's a stolen. It was a stolen vote.
On to the Tool of
the Week. This thing's amazing. You guys got to check this out. I want one. Mucho Bado. I think this would have got me out of a lot of jams up in the mountains.
This is pretty awesome.
Hunting cougars.
So,
at Legends. Hunting cougars.
Check this out. This is quite the jack. Obviously,
this is a flat tire fixer.
Yeah, this isn't. I dumped the transmission.
Yeah. But God, that's so genius and so easy.
Yep. Rock onto it and rock off of it.
Yep. Change the tire.
Trestle Jack.
Boom. I hope Ashley Gill's still watching this thing, because seriously, we could have used that in my driveway one night in the middle of the fucking frozen tundra.
Well, in addition to an actual tool, we also have some human tools.
Oh God.
Let's check this out. This is I'm going to set this up a little bit. Kyrsten Sinema, who is a senator from Arizona. She's a basically moderate Democrat, which means that she actually has some common sense and doesn't just vote left. So some folks are upset with her because she's not voting for this infrastructure nonsense.
You mean the gas tax?
Yeah, that doesn't actually have anything to do with infrastructure. So she also teaches some classes, I guess, at Arizona State, if I'm not mistaken. So anyways, here's an interaction with her and some...
So then we want to talk to you real quick. Can we talk to you real quick?
Actually, I am heading out.
Right now is a real moment that our people need in order for us to be able to talk about what's
And these folks
happening.
are from some kind
We
of...
need a Build Back Better plan right now.
Lobby.
We knocked on doors. We need solutions to the Build Back Better
So they
plan.
followed her in the bathroom.
We knocked on doors for you to get you elected. And that's how we got you elected. We can get you out of office if you don't support
Oh, goodness.
what the comments
Oh, my.
My name is Blanca. I was brought here to the United States when I was 3 years old. And in 2010, my grandparents both got deported because of SB 1070. And I'm here because I definitely believe that we need a pathway to citizenship. My grandfather passed away 2 weeks ago, and I was not able to go to Mexico. And
no, I'm going to stop that right there. She's like, my grandfather passed away, and I wasn't able to go. No, you were able to go. You just might not have been able to get back because you're not a citizen.
Fair enough.
You totally could have drove down to Mexico.
Gone. You totally could have went.
You're a Mexican citizen. They would have had no problem letting you into Mexico. You just may not have been able to come back.
Right.
Unless you went to that place in Texas where no one's watching to come back up. So, obviously, I'm also a bit of a tool because I added some things there. But I had to get some comedy out of this.
Nick Offerman, the whole thing. For those of you who don't know, Nick Offerman's notorious for busting farts on soundstage, on set, during takes.
I mean, come on, to follow someone to the bathroom.
Oh no, these kids have no boundaries anymore. No. There aren't any.
They think they're completely entitled to everyone's time and resources.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen people that are like, well, she can take 5 minutes for her constituents. Well, number one, illegal immigrants can't vote, so they are not her constituents.
Number one.
Number two,
you're accosting this woman at work.
Well, she's doing another job. Like, I mean, I don't think she teaches there all the time. I think it's like, a special lecture series or something like that she's doing. But you have no idea if she has that 5 minutes when she says,
I'm on my way out. Catch me at the office.
She may just have a time to take a shit.
Like, literally, she may just have time to take a shit.
And go back to the class. I don't know.
I think that's
And then even after this, I guess they, followed her to her flight. She was flying back to D.C. and
followed her all over.
Fucked with her there and,
Well, and here's the thing. If she had stood her ground and made a statement, it wouldn't have mattered. They would have hounded her and kept hounding her because you can't... All I'm going to say is, look, you got teenage daughters who are really good kids. And I've been, brothers, all my nieces, all the nieces I got, they're actually pretty good kids.
Right.
But they're fucking pains in the asses because they ask the same question 16 times hoping to get a different answer.
Right.
And we're talking about, good kids, that know they're going to get their ass whooped in a minute if they don't stop.
Yeah.
And they still do it. It's uncontrollable. These guys don't know they could get their asses kicked any minute.
Yeah. So.
Well, you're lucky you didn't, get arrested.
Yeah.
Well, I can film in public. I can do this in public. I can do this. I can do that. Well, you can.
And I'm not sure if that applies in a bathroom.
That's a bathroom.
I think once you go into a bathroom, I think a lot of those
campus
laws.
That's a private school.
Yeah.
Had she been outside in the quad or in the street?
Sure.
All day long. It's on you. So. I love those the First Amendment audits. The guys that screw them up.
Yeah.
The guys that call it out, and then they get everything's golden because they're actually following the rules,
right?
And they get hemmed up. I like those because they're getting hemmed up, and the other guy's an idiot.
Yeah,
I love the ones where they're like, no, it's my First Amendment, I do this, or they're bitching about this, the other, and they're in women's bathroom in a private school.
And they're in some. There's actually a law against this.
They're in some. The one was in a New York building. They're like, are you a tenant here? No, they got arrested.
Get the fuck out.
They're arrested on the spot.
I love my own small version of that is I don't ever show my receipt at Walmart.
Yeah, I do that too.
Because they have, once you have gone through the line, that's your property. They have no right to search it.
Right.
Zip. If they have a problem with theft, that's their fucking problem.
They have to call the police and track you down later.
Yeah. But every time I just go, no, thank you, and walk by.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of them are like, wait, can you do that? By the time they've gone through that, I'm already out the door.
Yep.
Carolyn.
She gets all nervous.
She hates when I do that.
She's like, I want to follow the rules.
And I generally don't when I'm with her, but sometimes when we're in a hurry and they're like stopping me I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, come on, we're in a hurry. The reason I said that is we're in a hurry. Now you're slowing us down by apologizing to this person.
Yeah, and they do that to me at Sam's Club. I just keep walking by, and I'm like,
no, you got to be careful with that. If you're in a club, you've actually signed a contract that says that you're agreeing to all
by, and then they're like, no.
Yeah, Walmart, because they're open to the public, they have no right to search your stuff.
Yep.
So
yeah, that was my warning. Trevor got there first.
Sorry. Yeah, Costco and Sam's, do not try that.
Nope, you were paying to be part of a private
somewhere
entity.
Buried in that fine print of the contract you signed, it says that you'll do whatever security measures they want. So, let's get into some.
It also says you have to buy a hot dog or a slice of pizza before you leave. It's a state law, state mandate.
Or the Costco soft serve.
The Costco soft, yeah, you have to.
Good stuff.
It's in your agreement.
Let's get into some the week in his story.
Comes to his end in the gutter, spinning right through the wheel.
In first on the flank, get it started. It's fired at his flank.
All right, so this week in his story, October 7th, 1849, Edgar Allen Poe, aged only 40. I was a little surprised by that. I thought he was older than that. Dies a tragic death in Baltimore. He was never able to overcome his alcoholism and was found in a delirious condition outside a saloon that was being used as a voting place. I presume they took him to the hospital or whatever, and he later died of... who knows, liver, some kind of organ
cirrhosis. That if we ever get the dude from Booze Your Daddy on here, that's all he talks about is Baltimore. We need to hem him up with some trivia.
I used to live in Baltimore. It was pretty cool. Let's see. October 8th, 2001, U.S. President George W. Bush established the Office of Homeland Security.
Because Fatherland was just a little too senile.
And I'm just going to point this out. The income tax was supposed to be temporary. Temporary measure. And yep.
And we're still paying for it, folks.
Let's see. October 9th, 1779, the Luddite riots began in Manchester, England, in reaction to machinery being introduced to spin cotton, which of course meant that those factories could reduce their workforce.
It took our job. It took our jobs.
Oi.
Oi.
Actually, it was probably more like, oi.
Oi, they took our jobs. Right, Manchester.
October 10th, 1973, Spiro Agnew resigns the vice presidency amid accusations of income tax evasion. President Richard Nixon then names Gerald Ford the new vice president. Agnew was later convicted and dodged an even bigger bullet by not being vice president when Watergate hit the fan. But he was sentenced to 3 years probation and fined $10,000.
History's funny.
Yeah. October 11th, 1950. The FCC authorizes the Columbia Broadcasting System, better known as CBS, to begin commercial color TV broadcasts.
The only thing ever good to come out of it was the Craig Ferguson Late Late Show.
That was pretty good.
That was the only thing.
You can thank David Letterman for that.
Yep.
Let's see, October 12th, 1994. NASA lost contact with the Magellan space probe in the very thick atmosphere of Venus.
Irony.
And finally, this
Did
week,
Magellan die of syphilis?
Maybe, I don't know. Finally, this week in his story.
I find that funnier than anybody else.
October 13th, 1307, members of the Knights Templar are arrested throughout France, imprisoned and tortured, and also burned at the stake in some cases, by the order of King Philip the Fair. For those that don't know, of course, it's painted as a religious thing. The Templars were kind of the first bank, so everyone owed them money. And if you're a king and you have a bunch of knights who you owe money to in your country,
guess who's
what's
not
an
gonna
easier
be king?
way?
Yeah.
Than paying them. Well,
burn her. She's a witch.
Yeah. So, but that concludes the week in history, and that also brings us to the end of our show, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your sensibilities. If you have taste, I'm sure it's fortunate.
Fair.
Well,
so, we would like to thank our sponsors, EXO AutoWorks and Enharmonic Studios. If you'd like to become a sponsor here at Man Tools, call Trevor and you can pay him in widgets, pocket lint, favors, whatever you got. Thank you for watching and or listening. Please check us out on the web at mantoolsmedia.com, and our social media is all in one big hub at linktree/mantoolsmedia, including the link to buy our new soap, the Toolbar, available in black oak, fresh cut wood, exfoliating cedar, and coming soon, hell-bent for leather.
That's right.
Couldn't help myself there. All by Crafts by Karen Lane. Crafts by Karen Lane on Etsy.
That's right. And pop over to our locals, also in that link tree, to join and watch members-only content for just $5 a month, including we'll be uploading later this week a very special video that we're about to record.
What does it say? Is that
with
the
a
one?
Special guest.
Is that you naked? What the hell am I saying? Okay, don't
that's part of my beard struggle video.
Oh my god!
I took a shower.
Trevor showering. I've seen it all. I mean, I saw it when we were.
It doesn't show my dick.
Scout camp.
Oh, it's gotten bigger since that, I'm sure.
Those cold showers. For all of our merch, please check us out at mantoolsmedia.redbubble.com. That's it for your weekly dose of croxic tascalinity.
Yes.
We'll see you guys next week. Same man time, same man channel.
Good night, everybody.